the there will be some traffic restrictions in that area of road going from Boardwalk Hill. When you enter from Boardwalk, and you will travel through Frigate Bay exit right at the roundabout. That portion of road coming off the hill, Curry Hill, and right through to Calypso Bay over into Frigate Bay itself. The portion of road will close at Calypso Bay and the top of Boardwalk Hill at Curry Hill. Between the hours of 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday to Friday.
Nice.
That is to facilitate the ongoing construction
Nice.
that taking place. We do not want, we saw the licensing authority saw the need to have the road closed during the hours of constructions because it might not, we think about road safety. And so we are asking persons who are accustomed to utilize that portion of roads getting to and from Frigate Bay, that you must keep in mind this timing, and you would not, if you're entering from Boardwalk, you would not be able to go further than on top of Curry Hill, and if you're entering from Frigate Bay area, you will not be able to go beyond Calypso Bay. Within that area, the road will be restricted.
For how long? Do you know?
Right up until March next year.
Okay.
All right. So, what has happened is that when they finish working for the day, they will open the road when work is finished. So, at 5 in the afternoon,
They'll open the road.
the road is accessible every evening up to say 6 o'clock, 6:30, and on weekends.
Okay.
Right, whenever there isn't any construction.
Okay.
Also, tomorrow, I think that there will be a limited traffic restriction between the road between just by New Street and 4th Street. That's portion of road to facilitate a chess tournament, the chess tournament, and so you want to keep that in mind. The week so far has been pretty okay. We are still having accidents, but we didn't have
A great reduction.
right in accidents. However, we know the weekend, the Independence weekend, is coming up, and we know this sometimes does be crazy time. So we really want to encourage our motorists to really continue to exercise caution. We are still seeing a lot of inconsiderate driving. Up to just a few minutes ago on our way here at Juku, we coming from New Road area, and a vehicle ahead just trying to be courteous, allowing persons to exit out of Shadwell, and this other motorist behind impatient, so he drive over to the slip lane, not intending to use the slip lane, and then forcing back himself into traffic. And these are things that bring about accidents that are really uncalled for. So we're really calling on motorists to obey the traffic laws and also think about the other person. There is an offense called driving without consideration, of other road users.
That's in the books?
Yes, it's on the book. It's somewhat a minor traffic violation in comparison to driving without juki and those. But you can be reported, charged for driving without consideration of other road users. So I'll pause here. And like I said, it's supposed to be an interaction. So anybody who wants to chime in, they can call, and then I will let Bell continue from this point.
Yes. Before Bell gets in, the numbers are 465-1977 and 465-1903. Mr. Bell.
Yes, Juki, good morning again. Well, my topic or concern is about the newly constructed slip lane on the F.T. Williams Highway. Now, since it has been completed, I observed that persons are using it for a parking.
Wow.
Yes. It's not a parking lane, it's not a pull-off lane.
It's not a shoulder.
No. The opposite side persons can pull off and park, they go there and they patronize the vendors on the side of the road. But the mountain side of the road, it's a slip lane for persons to merge back into the main road coming from the St. Peter's direction. Now we have the broken road still open there by the airport fence. However, it will be closed. When, I cannot say, but it will be closed, and that's why we are trying to make sure that everything is set in place for persons, motorists, to use the road properly before that closure. We don't just want to get up today because we finished today and close the road and persons don't understand, have the knowledge that it was completed, because they would have seen work, but nobody had notified them to say, hey, the road is completed. You guys have to use this lane now.
Right. So allow me to shine in the bell that the surfacing and that part of the road is completed, but like I said last time I was here, that it is still not officially completed because there are still the signage, the marking, and everything to happen before the road is officially in use, right?
So people can use the road, though.
They can use it, but it's not officially.
Okay.
Right.
open. There's no restriction for you not to enter that lane right now.
Okay.
And that's why we're saying we haven't closed the broken lane there at the airport.
Right.
But we don't want persons to start having the practice that that slip lane is a parking area to go on the other side to patronize whatever vendors or businesses are in that area. That is to permit persons coming along the road. If there's a line of traffic, that's why the slip lane is so long. If there's a line of traffic on the main way, they have time, sufficient time to merge back into the main road. So we don't want persons that are coming around using that slip lane and there's an obstruction in front of them before they can even merge back into the main road.
Hold that thought. For the individuals calling, you can always call back. 465-1977, 465-1903. Feel free to interrupt our conversation to get your concerns over to the officers.
Right.
Good morning, you're live. Yes, good morning, you're live.
Hey, good morning, officer. Hey, just this morning, right? One of the things that I was supposed to say. This morning on Chief Road, right? And if you still
I'm not understanding what you're
to the general public.
Granny, hold on a second, Granny. I'm going to call you back via the Zoom link that I sent you, right? So I'm going to call you back via the Zoom link that I sent you, because we're not the Zoom, the Google Meet link, because we're not hearing you clearly.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Right. So
So hold on a second there. Let me get this thing up so Granny can get in and get his point over.
Is the service in the great state?
We'll find out in a bit. Let's see here. We just in the meantime, go ahead.
Yes. So one of the things that we are contemplating to do that will mark the official opening of that area, recognizing that there is a roundabout that. So we will want to do, and GQ is something that we can discuss, but what we are thinking of doing an on-the-road vigil. So that particular time we will do it on one of our show, the Wednesday, and so we will do the on-the-road, actually on the road,
right?
And so we'll have interviews, we'll have demonstrations,
right. So the show will be done from the road.
As to how the road are to be utilized.
Okay.
Because you will recognize with the slip lane, because the person coming from St. Peter's and you use the lane to the roundabout, you can continue to use the lane. But the person using the slip lane, you will have to give way before joining traffic. at the end of that point. So then we will want to have some demonstration.
How to use the road properly.
Yes, including the roundabout, because we're also recognizing that persons are still not understanding clearly as to how the proper use of the roundabout. So we want to do that.
Hold on. Let's hear from Granny now.
Yeah, that's a good joke. Now, what I was saying this morning, the stoplight was off at 4th Street to Victoria Road, right? So I don't know if it is on as yet, right? But I was just appealing to the general public to take note, right? I was supposed to say it this morning, so I had forgot, but I don't know if it's back on. But I'm gonna find out.
Okay.
Well, the officers are here. They can tell us. Is it back on, or you're not aware?
Well, as far as I'm aware, that the light is functional, but I can confirm that.
Okay.
In relation to that.
Let's go to the line.
Yes.
Good morning, your life.
Hi, good morning. I have a question regarding the slip lane in terms of the people from Shadwell. Now, when the road by the airport was open, I think one of the reasons why it was open was to address the issue of the traffic in terms of persons coming on the road from Shadwell being able to merge with the main road. How will the slip lane assist with this, or what it will be in place to assist with the situation? Because if now that road by the airport is going to be closed, the traffic coming down from the other areas, from St. Peter's, those of us who are coming down from New Road and Shadwell, the two roads, how would we be able to merge? Because having the traffic diverted to that road helps with us being able. Board courtesy is a major problem, and nobody really yields for people who are coming on the side road to join the traffic. So how will having the slip lane assist with that? Or is there an alternative in place?
Right, very good contribution, caller. If you notice, the slip lane commences, I think, above the bus stop.
Yes.
Above the bus stop. So then, if you're exiting from Shadwell, the same rules apply as if the slip lane wasn't there. So the traffic coming from, let's say, St. Peter's, and you're traversing along that way, you will have to always wait for the traffic to clear to join traffic in that area. And so if someone intended to use the slip lane, then you just indicate and you just join in at the point that is joining in. So once you're already in traffic and someone joining the slip lane, there shouldn't be any disruption. What we noticed this morning, that on the other side, further over, that's still Shadwell?
Yes, that's for the dirt truck to
the
go.
dirt area.
Yes.
What we realized that traffic entering, coming from the junction and joining in, that might be a little challenging. So that is something that we will have to look at. And so when the markings are in place and we do the demonstration, one can clearly understand how they will join traffic coming from that junction. So that is something that we take note of.
Yeah.
All right.
And just to input to what the sergeant said, with the question from the caller, how will they use the slip lane? It's just them avoiding taking that cutout road. They would have to come all the way down to the roundabout area, but there would be designated markings to show that where you enter the slip lane, for example, over at Connery. You know, when you're coming from Connery direction from the main road, as you approach the slip lane, the road is marked out for you to either enter the slip lane if you're going to Frigate Bay direction, or if you're going to keep in the main lane and head to Bastia direction. And when you're exiting the slip lane, majority of the times, especially coming from the Connery direction, the drivers are courteous, you know, because they see you in advance while they're coming around, and they allow you to come out. And it's the same thing with the newly built slip lane, and that slip lane is even longer. So that's why we're trying to encourage persons not to park in the slip lane. So if the road is a bit busy and you're coming down the slip lane taking your time, there must be somebody who is going to be considerate enough to allow you to enter back into the main road.
If not, you wait until
on.
the traffic is
Let's take this call. Good morning, you're live.
Hi, good morning. I have a few observations. In terms of the slip lane that the sergeant is referring to from Shadwell, I don't think it would be a problem in relation to the slip lane, you know. I think the lady was saying it would be a problem for persons exiting from those stops because you would have eliminated the traffic from the little road that we had, and that was assisting. So I probably would suggest that you might have to place, well, the police would have to go there again to direct the traffic, because even coming out of New Road, sometimes it's difficult for persons to get out of there. The traffic that is going towards Bastille, sometimes some drivers give the courtesy and allow them to come out. But everybody is going to be on the hustle now and wanting to get to their workplace or drop their children to school. So nobody is going to stop for those persons who are coming out of Shadwell or about around the area, the other part of Shadwell. That is going to be an issue because the traffic that would have been going under the airport, that traffic now is coming in the other direction. So you're going to have traffic backed up. And secondly, in relation to the traffic light, I just need to warn drivers. The amber light means that you should slow down, not speed up. I was standing on 4th Street on Monday, and the amber light came on, 2 vehicles rushed, and then here comes a police vehicle as well, trying to beat the traffic lights. So the police vehicle ended up almost on the top of Keon Street. So if the police are not giving any examples, persons are not going to be doing the right thing. So I'm appealing to the police, especially when you're approaching a red light, unless it's an emergency and you would have to indicate that it's an emergency, you ought not to try to run the red light. Another thing, traffic wardens. The new traffic wardens that are in place, I don't know if when they're being inducted, if they are taught to, if you see a traffic jam, you could stop and assist. Because last week again, I noticed that the traffic warden at Victoria Road Preschool, she has been replaced and a young lady is there. And the traffic was backed up from Moravian Church, the roundabout, because they have traffic coming from East Taylor's Range, and the traffic was backed up for a while because nobody is allowing anybody to get out. Everybody wants to go on their journey. And so here I was a little way from the young ladies. I put down my window and I was like, "Come, you need to come to assist with the traffic up here." And the lady just stand up on the pole. She was leaning up on the pole. When I was driving this morning again, I heard Granny talking about traffic backed up in that area. When I reached down, the young lady was standing up on the pole again, not trying to assist. So I think that you need to, Sergeant, I think that you need to brief, especially the new ones, that if they notice that the traffic is backed up and they're in a position to assist, because there was nobody using the crossing at the time. They should try to assist to get, the traffic running. And then another thing I've observed in relation to the Gillard gas station is that some drivers, even though they know that the drivers are not now allowed to go into the gas station unless they are coming from the roundabout, but they're stopping, holding up the traffic to allow these vehicles to enter into the gas station. The same way when they're exiting, they're not telling the driver, no, you have to go that way. They're stopping to allow the drivers to come out. So drivers, if we need to get it right, we have to do it right. And we have to try to help. No need for us to encourage people to break the law, because, you could cause accidents. So this is my little 2 cents for today.
Yeah, very valuable, very valuable, yes. Quite notable in terms of your observation, and is this kind of vigilance that we encourage, and also that you can help us as we help you, because we would not be able to see everything. Just to really answer some of the concerns that you raised, starting with.
Can you make a note of it? I want to try to get in as much as possible.
Okay.
So we've got some
All
more
right. Okay.
callers coming in.
Yeah,
please. Good morning. You're live.
Hi, I've been listening, right? And I'm wondering why they don't use signs, why they keep going on the radio and say they're encouraging people to do this, they're encouraging people to do that. If they're not to park on the side by the slip lane, why you don't put up no parking or yellow line or some sort of thing? Well, I guess I could listen offline.
All right.
Yeah, to answer that caller, as the sergeant stated, it's not officially opened. I still have markings to be done, and that's why I said I'm just here to encourage persons to discontinue trying to park in the slip lane, because we don't want them to get comfortable, and then when we try to enforce it now, you know, they say, oh, but we're doing it all the time, you all wasn't saying anything or anything like that. So even though the signs are not in place yet, for example, at the gas station also, we came here and we spoke about the changes that were made. However, the signs were not placed there as yet, so there's nothing legally restricting persons to make those turns.
Okay.
So I am glad that that person made that suggestion, so my colleague and my right hand would make the note and try to get that in place. But we do have the signs available.
Okay. Good morning. You're live.
Yes, good morning, Dico. I've been programmed, but a lot of complaints at police. You are almost trying to do just like how we trying to do on the road, because you cause accidents, and then sometimes you ain't got the right insurance. Your insurance only cover you, and it ain't cover the other vehicle. So you have got to learn to understand how the roads go, and it's good program.
All right. Let's take this next call. Good morning. You're live.
Good morning. Shadwell Estate needs people because the people that have come to park in Shadwell Estate just sign up here. The old Shadwell. Speed bump and speed limit. The people that have come to full speed like that on the highway, they're going to knock on somebody.
The speed limit in residential areas are 20 miles generally, whether or not there is any sign. When you go for your driver's license, those are one of the major questions. What are the speed limit for residential areas and the speed limit for highways? So every valid driver should have the knowledge of the speed limit in residential areas. Every driver. I'm sure, GQ, that was one of your questions when you were attempting to get your driver's license. So
that was many moons ago.
Okay, so that is one of the major questions every driver had to answer. Even if it's not for the written exam, they had to answer that to the instructor.
But that mean, are you dismissing her request of speed bumps?
I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I'm just saying the ignorance to it
Shouldn't be.
be.
Let's hear from this caller coming in. Good morning, you're live.
Hi, morning. Jigio, welcome back, Officer Bell. Did you get a chance to ask my question?
No, I didn't.
Huh?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so let me ask it. Officer Bell, welcome back. This is what I want to know. This morning I passed by Dr. M. Connor School, and the sign is not there. And correct me if I'm wrong. If the sign is not there, it means that you can make the left to go up.
Yes.
And that happens, right? It causes chaos by the school. So this is what I want to know. If for some reason the sign is not there, whether it's been broken up or it's been used elsewhere, can the school get permission to put some cones down there by the half? Can that be applied?
They can put it in writing for an official response, but I don't see any problem or issue with that.
Okay. And also by the school, right, in your absence, they spoke about asking drivers to not park by the school, but persons are still doing it. So I guess they'll have to write officially also to have cones placed directly in front of the school gate so they don't block the school entrance. Because sometimes persons park there and teachers are wanting to go inside the school and they can't go in, or they're coming out and they can't get out because of the blockage. The other thing, in your absence, I spoke about a stoplight by Buckley's, and I think Officer Maguire would have mentioned that there was looking at a roundabout there or some stoplight. But in the interim, I asked for a crossing guard to be there. So I'm doing a follow-up because just last week there was an accident again there. If you do your check, you will see there's a increase in significant accident right there, and also major accidents, and most time it involves 3-4 vehicles. Right? So I'm doing a follow-up and that.
Okay, well, to answer to answer that last question about the school.
Thanks for your call, Bucky.
We encourage that they put it in writing for if the motorists try to challenge their decision, at least they would have proper approval from the licensing authority to justify their actions. We don't want that they just get up and put cones out there and then they have conflict with motorists when in fact there was nothing sent out to restrict them from being there. Okay? The lighting, I'm not sure where exactly in Buckley's he's speaking about, so I don't know if Mr. Maguire.
That's just done for the movie. You know, the intersection there before you go down by Rivers, Antioch Baptist.
That's a hot spot. Yes, so that's something we would have to sit down and discuss mutually. I don't think that's a decision for one or two persons to make. So, but that would be a little above my
pay grade.
My head. No, my head.
Oh, your head. Oh,
yeah, the pay doesn't really matter in terms of the safety for us generally. So.
Thank you for that, Officer Bell. I'm going to let you answer and wrap up because we are at that point.
Yeah, I realize that. So let me say, in relation to what the caller was highlighting, let me start with the one who speak with the speed bump in Shadwell. We can come and look at the areas and see. So make an assessment, and then consideration can be given in relation to that. The speed bump in Shadwell vehicles, I think the caller would have done justice in terms of informing motorists how you approach the traffic lights, and police officers are example setters, and so we should know how to deal in situation with that. So the caller is correct that the amber lights are just to prepare you to stop, and so you are not, it doesn't give you the go ahead to continue. We would have spoken about the gas station, turning right into Gillard's gas station. That will be enforced strictly. The reason for that is that this proper signage is not in place, and so we encourage persons to just obey. We will love to see a lot of cooperation rather than enforcement, and so if there is a need, there is not a need for strict enforcement, then we should be civic in our actions and our consideration, and just try to think safety at the end of the day. There are other things, GQ, but we are out of time, so we'll have to highlight them another program. All right?
Before we go to real quick, the last point, and then we'll go right into a 9 o'clock report. This is from Granny.
Officer, what are you saying? I do not like that thing that you're saying that there isn't anything in place. One, the most important thing that is in place is the center line in the road. It hasn't have any dotted line there, so by Gillard gas station to say that you could go in. You cannot cross over a straight line to go in a gas station. So that is one. That is the major. Because you're trying to reference. I go on there and somebody either trying to exit out or enter into Gillard gas station at the wrong point. What you going to tell me? That no sign there, or you got a sign on the road? You have a sign on the road. And that is one of the major things them that we need in St. We need the road, especially the main roads them, to be properly painted. So the line down there in the road, so that ain't no excuse. The line in the road you can't cross over. You ain't saying I don't take chances, you know. Mine, don't get me wrong. I might take it when it's slow, you didn't know it, however. May no angel, but I just letting you to know that the line is in the road to say that you cannot cross.
Somebody's saying why there's not a sign there to say you can't turn right?
Right. Well, I agree totally with Granny. Granny, if I understand what he's saying, that the sign don't have to be there to tell you not to turn right, for you know you should not turn right, because the very marking in the road tells you that it's a solid line, and so it means therefore that when you do that, you are taking a risk. But the reason why we continue to encourage persons, before we had considered to restrict the turning, it was a practice. And so now that we are restricting the turning, then it is only fitting that we inform and educate people and put the proper signage in place to know that this is officially restricted. But Granny is correct, and that is why we are saying until that is done, just exercise. You know what this tells me? That the motorists are informed and educated as to the traffic road signage.
But just negligent.
Right. But just negligence. Yeah? So we will continue to educate and encourage, and then by the time the signage go in, then there shouldn't be any excuse. We enforce strictly.
Yes, sir. Thanks for being here, gentlemen.
Yes.
Thanks for listening. On 9 o'clock report is up next.
I have seen what speed can do. Here I am to your rescue, to help you to live. Just this advice I you simply the best.
Are you looking for a place that provides skilled nursing care and rehabilitation services to people with special needs, illnesses, injuries, or functional disabilities?